Russia may have already started their summer offensive. I'm referencing an article by Rusi, and I'll have a link to it down in the comments. Definitely go give it a read. It is very interesting, but it basically describes how this process is already starting and how Russia may plan to go about this. They're able to do this not only because they've met recruitment numbers and exceeded them for the past couple months, they've also shifted commanders around to different positions, and we've talked about this a little bit in past TikToks and Reels, but they've also built a big reserve of equipment that they can use for an advance. What Rusi describes in their article is basically a soft launch to their offensive, and that's because they're not really capable of producing any kind of lightning fast or broad offensive that we typically would associate with the word. Instead, it's really more of just a broad and high intensity level of ground level attacks, and this is something that we've been seeing throughout the past couple years in Ukraine anyway. So what we're likely to see here is really nothing different. Don't yet exactly describe where they expect this offensive to be targeting. However, if I were to hazard a guess, I would imagine the main effort would be towards Pokrovsk. It's a major logistics node that Russia's been trying to capture for the past several months. However, it will really cost them a lot of soldiers and equipment just to get into the city, and even more to capture the city. So I would imagine that this offensive would be geared towards that. And capturing Pokrovsk would cause a pretty significant strategic dilemma for Ukraine throughout Donbass. Wherein the article does describe this as well, Russia will likely have supporting axes in different areas like, as they mentioned in the article, Zaporizhia, Kharkiv, and Sumy to fix Ukrainian troops along different parts of the front line and away from the main effort. All this talk of ceasefire talks potentially happening between Russia and Ukraine, and it's pretty clear that Russia has no interest in slowing things down, and they are clearly gearing up for something large.